I think one thing I learned in the previous conversation and the work that we did as groundwork before that was, irrespective of what age you're in, it's important to know your relationship with money. How you see money. Is it a security? Is it stability? Is it identity? Some people associate it with identity as well. So that's where your luxury cars, even though you can't afford, phone that you can't afford, bikes or other things that you can't afford, you'll take EMIs to actually cater to that versus what you want in the long term.
Yes. So I think it's all about delayed gratification, which is a very hard thing in general.
In today's age,
yes,
right?
it's very, very hard
Yeah.
for most people to delay that. But you can either have this or that. You can't have both.
You seem to be completely like dejected by this.
Yeah. So So this instant gratification thing doesn't work for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need it. I need to have it tomorrow. Yeah, this is impulsive. It doesn't help you in the long run. So in general, I just my default answer when my wife asks something is no. And and that's a safety valve actually in the way I think about it. Don't do anything, if nothing is going to change, so it'll be okay. And then you think about it, and then so this instant gratification is where the problem lies, in my view, right? I mean, and phone is a great example.
Yeah.
People have phones that is equal to 2 months' salary, and which is like insane. I mean, that's not justifiable, but people do it, right? Same happens with cars.
Yeah.
House, I can still understand pushing up a little bit because there is a value associated with the house. It doesn't depreciate. The car and phone depreciates the moment it comes out of the shop, right?
Lifestyle is an
Yes, so lifestyle creep is a major issue, and I think the jobs and the way the job things is related to economy is going to be topsy turvy. Nothing is going to get better.
Yeah.
I don't believe next 20 years is going to get better than the previous 20 years. I don't think that's going to be the case, right? So yeah, I mean,
I think the way I see this, because I pivot around change and I talk a lot about change, we've always heard that change is constant. And yet, it's something very hard for me to internalize for a long time. I've heard this, you drive organization-wide change and you see there's methodology, tools and all that for that. But when it comes to an individual, I noticed we're very familiar with this phrase that change is constant. And yet, it's the acceptance of that change that's happening around us, and the awareness of how it's impacting us today and how it will impact us in the long run. That's the responsibility. The choices we make in that is what is really important. So all we can do is understand that change is constant.
Correct.
Jobs are going to come, jobs are going to go. Things are going to change, things are going to be a ride. But then if you have a certain way of riding these waves, which is the discipline and the fundamental philosophies, then riding the waves.
But there is one good thing I see in the future, right, for the new kids. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the opportunities that they have now to, let's say, create a new business, it can be anything.
Yeah.
That is 10 times better than what it was maybe when I was growing up.
Very true.
Right? So it's not that the avenues are closing. Actually, the avenues are getting better.
Yeah.
But again, you have to think of in those lines that, so if you're going to be an employee like I have been, yeah, man, you have to go. You got to do this. There's no escaping it. But you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to remain an employee. You can become an entrepreneur, and the avenues are crazy high. Right? I mean, as compared to what it was 20 years back. So not everything is gloomy here.
Yeah.
The youngsters actually have far more opportunities now in terms of starting their own business. And I would actually highly recommend, every youngster to think about it at least. Because the energy that you have at that point in time and the passion and dedication, the amount of time that you can spend, you can reap a lot of benefit of starting it early. And there's not much cost associated in failing at that point in time. So I would actually say that, out of college and someone should try being an entrepreneur. What have you have nothing to lose,
Yeah.
right? Maybe 2 years will get wasted, but that's all.
You learn so much more.
And the amount of learning that you'll have, no one in working a 9 to 5 will have that learning in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? What you will learn in those 2 years is it's going to be phenomenal. So it's not all dark and gloomy. Crazy opportunities lies ahead. India, in terms of, if you have to do it in India, the amount of opportunity that you have now, it's just insane. Till 10 years back, it was next to impossible to think about, let's say, creating a business around a mobile app. Who will have data? Where is data going to come from? Look at it now. You don't even talk about data, cost, whatever. It is assumed that everyone has it. Like 1 billion guys have it. 1 billion guys is a huge market. That didn't exist 10 years back. Right? I mean, what bigger opportunity are you looking for? I mean, we have a country of billion plus, a huge market right within. Forget about exporting to this or that. You have a huge market. There is a digital ecosystem that is well set now. Things work. Payment mechanism is awesome. Your data is great. Huge opportunities which didn't exist just 10 years back. So think about it. Huge opportunity. My suggestion would be to absolutely think about, giving 1 or 2 years, just trying something out on your own, rather than, get into a job and get into stress on that. It's huge opportunity lies, which was not there, frankly. Think about when you started. How many opportunities would you have had if you had thought of doing a business in India? It was very, very hard, right? I even started something on my own. Didn't go far, because there was no concept of like an angel investment or whatever. That ecosystem didn't exist at that point in time. So even if it's a great idea, you have to be like insanely lucky to kind of make it happen, convert that into success. It was very, very hard. That's not the case today. And you can fail. That's totally fine. Look at the amount of startup activity going on, right? It's not that every startup is becoming a success. But the person who's doing it is not a failure at all, right? He's moving on to doing something else with a different company and doing great with his life. So that's how you have to start thinking. Not everyone has to start, doing this by becoming an employee, getting X amount of rupees per month guaranteed, and saving Y percentage of that. That is one way of doing it. But there is so much more so much more that you can do now, which was not possible till a few years back. So yeah.